Number 1. aespa's Giselle. When aespa was preparing for the most recent comeback Savage, a behind-the-scenes video of theirs was uploaded, just like every other group did after the release of their title track. However, it was also because of this video that, soon after that, Giselle was dragged into a huge mess, where she was accused of being racist for mouthing the N-word in Love Galore of SZA. Since racial issues have always been a sensitive topic, especially in the States, aka the country where Giselle had many years of her childhood, she quickly became the bullseye of criticism, among not only domestic but also international netizens. According to them, Giselle was so ill-educated of such a serious social concern that, despite being a famous idol, she still failed to keep the manner and the responsibility toward young fans. Plus, as mentioned, she has spent lots of time in the States and even went to school there. So some also had more solid reasons to believe Giselle was being racist, at least to some extent, and was arrogant. Apparently, there were also fans that took the stance besides Giselle, saying that she wasn't fluent enough to know it was a racial slur, and was unaware how serious that one word could hurt others. However, as disagreed by many people, as Giselle once did a cover of Tia Tamara and smoothly replaced the N-word to not offend anyone, it was nonsensical to protect her at this point. Plus, for anyone who was saying that she was unaware of the lyrics' meanings, some also fired back that Giselle was lip-syncing to almost the whole song, and even excitedly leaned forward after mouthing that slur. The scandal got so big that when you happened to search for her name on Google at the time, the top 2 suggestions would be Giselle N-word aespa and Giselle N-word. Fortunately, the issue quickly cooled down because Giselle released an apology just one day after the incident, and SM Entertainment also took down the controversial video. Yet, life is full of expectations, and recently, Giselle once again made a half-witted and controversial statement. After aespa visited New York for their performance at Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade a while ago, a video about their trip around the town titled 24 Hours with aespa was uploaded by Vogue. While that could have been a memorable milestone for the group and a prideful moment for Mize, the video unfortunately gave rise to another wave of criticism toward Giselle, after she said, "I'm really going to commit suicide if my phone drops." Yes, the subtitle that Vogue put in was "I would die," which was literally a normal expression that everyone uses when something bad happened. But according to Netizens, as her words actually meant commit suicide in Korean, and suicide has always been a sensitive topic in the country due to the social pressures on young people, many believe Giselle deserved to be criticized this time. The anger soon grew out of the comment section on YouTube and expanded onto many forums like NatePun and Instas. On the coup, there was also a long post titled, "Is this something an idol should say?" in a video posted for fans to watch. Here, this person said even though Giselle has always been her bias, and the proof was a bunch of photos she saved since the very beginning of October this year, she still couldn't defend how mindless and irresponsible it was of Giselle to pull that suicide joke. On the other hand, some said that normal people pulled that joke all the time when they face something bad, so it was kinda too much to hate Giselle for doing the same thing. Others also said now that they had known why being a female idol was an exhausting job, and probably Giselle must have kept her mouth shut forever to please the public. However, lots of people found these reasons unacceptable, because at the end of the day, Giselle was still an idol, with lots of influence over young people, and so just because it's something ordinary people would do, didn't mean it's something she should also do. Number 2. aespa's Winter. Besides Giselle, netizens also believe Winter should also watch her words, and probably should have SM Entertainment go over everything before speaking, because despite having just debuted for around a year, she was already caught up in 4 scandals deriving from what she shared online. Most recently, Winter became the center of criticism again for using a controversial slang in disguise of her Gyeongsang-do dialect. FYI, many K-pop idols weren't initially born in Seoul. They came from different areas, and so there were many local language variations and dialects that would be interpreted completely differently by the public. That's also the situation here, and according to many K-nets, Winter was using this difference to use negative slang when texting with fans on Bubble. In her Bubble conversation, aespa's Winter's Gyeongsang-do dialect uses "no" at the end of some of her messages. However, as South Korea has a community called ilbe, which has been created by online users to spread their angry and misogynistic views, and these people often use noche in their dialect to mock the former South Korean president, Winter was accused of disrespecting this president and being misogynistic. While many fans had come to her defense and even wrote a long post on the coup about situations where Winter used the exact no verbiage without malicious intentions, lots of people still believed Winter was bad in nature for some things she did previously. Here, they brought up the story where Winter recommended a YouTube channel by Junwoo that has long been infamous for toxic content to fans, really young fans to be exact. As some pointed out, this YouTuber was always criticized for provocative titles and contents, such as testing women's tendency to cheat on their boyfriends, and they found it annoying to see Winter excitedly say this was her go-to channel to relieve stress. Then came another incident where Winter said that Ningning's pet lizard, whose name was Poopy, was so stinky the other day that she almost gave up on taking care of the reptile for Ningning. While netizens didn't pay much attention to the comment at the time, many have now seen it in a far more different light, after Winter's alleged animal abusing scandals broke out. Basically, there was a video of Winter playing with the cat, and as some noticed, she scared the cat away by suddenly screaming at him. With such controversies, people believed Winter would probably be better off either by speaking less or paying more attention to her words. However, many fans went to defend her, saying that she was just a rookie, and the public should have greater mercy on her. Plus, the fact that netizens have always been well known for exaggerating everything related to idols also shows that Winter scandals are not really scandals, but just the results of netizens being too aggressive. Number 3. Red Velvet's Yeri. Way before Winter and Giselle, there was another female idol that has been caught up in a bunch of scandals regarding her questionable words, and that was Yeri. Literally 2 years in a row, starting from 2018, there was none that she wasn't criticized for saying something weird, and in time, netizens also became more and more strict with every word she said. It all started in 2018, where Red Velvet was assigned to visit North Korea to perform Red Flavor and Bad Boy in the country. Though the visit was done to push the positive relationship between the two nations, many South Korean people still couldn't forget the painful history, and thus weren't completely happy with North Korea's president Kim Jong-un. That's also why, when Yeri used the word honor to describe the meeting with this president, and emphasized the word twice, she immediately became the bullseye of criticism among K-netizens. Then, in 2019, Yeri received another backlash for speaking mindlessly on an Inkigayo livestream. When she was asked if she would go back to the Law of the Jungle again, she said there were members she would want to send there instead. While things could have ended on a bright note had Yeri stopped at saying, "I want to send Irene Uni to a sea," and "I want to send Wendy Uni to a mountain," she took the worst turn ever by ending with a wish to send Joy to a devastating place with no food or anything. When Joy asked if Yeri was holding a grudge against her or anything, Yeri replied she just wanted Joy to suffer for a long time. Though it was just a joke between besties and Yeri surely didn't mean anything bad, Joy's solo fans couldn't view things the same way. So, do you think these idols are at fault? Or are netizens making a big fuss over nothing? Comment down below to share your thoughts with us. Also, remember to like, share, and subscribe to BeBoss TV for more interesting K-pop content. Thank you for watching.